Browns' Shedeur Sanders emerges with massive win. Cleveland Browns wrapped up last season with the worst offense in the NFL by almost any measure. The team earned a Pro Football Focus grade of 55.6, which was not just bad in the context of 2025. It is the worst grade a team's offense has gotten in the 2 decades that PFF has been giving out grades. Certainly, it was a struggle for just about everyone on that side of the ball, but the quarterbacks, Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders took the brunt of the blame. Sanders, at least, got the best results. He was 3-4 in his 7 starts, after the Browns went 1-3 with Flacco and 1-5 with Gabriel. But his performance was disjointed, as he threw for 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, and was sacked a whopping 23 times. At NFL.com, Sanders was ranked 44th among the NFL's quarterback, behind former Browns backup Tyler Huntley and 44-year-old Colts pensioner Philip Rivers. That's why there's some hope that perhaps former Browns starter Deshaun Watson has one decent year in him before Cleveland can wriggle out of his horrendous contract. Never mind that Watson has not played in nearly 2 years because of 2 torn Achilles tendons, or that he wasn't all that good to start 2024 before he was injured. A Watson revival is part of the Browns' 2026 QB Hail Mary. Browns did not pursue outside QB options. It's a surprise, then, that the Browns did nothing this offseason to bolster the team's quarterback room. There were rumors and hints that a chase of Malik Willis, even if it were futile, would be on the docket, as well as a potential trade for Anthony Richardson. Neither materialized. So the Browns will enter 2026 with Sanders as the incumbent, and no matter how much hope there is around Watson, we should see Sanders as the favorite to win the job. The lack of movement on free agent quarterbacks, according to 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland, is a big deal for Sanders. Huge win for Shedeur Sanders. That's from the station's Anthony Lima, who says the less the Browns do in free agency, the better it is for Sanders. I would say it was a huge win. I cannot say for the quarterback room because they did not improve the quarterback room until further notice, Lima said. For Shedeur Sanders, it is a massive win because, let's face it, if they brought in Malik Willis, that would have been a big-time loss. They didn't. So, right now it's funny because everyone nationally says Deshaun Watson, it is his to lose. Because everybody remembers Deshaun Watson from 5 years ago. We've seen him more recently. It seems like that's what everybody is saying. But they want Shedeur Sanders to win, until further notice. When did they bring in Joe Flacco last year? Very, very late. Browns prepared to start Shedeur Sanders in 2026. The Browns might yet do something in the quarterback market in the coming weeks. As Lima mentioned, they brought in Flacco in April last year. There's also the chance that the Browns may draft a quarterback and add a little competition that way. But the chances of the Browns drafting someone who could legitimately win the job from Sanders this spring and summer are slim. Increasingly, it is his job to lose, and the Browns seem to accept that, in the city of Cleveland, football has always been more than a game. It's a heartbeat that echoes through neighborhoods, bars, and living rooms every Sunday. For decades, fans of the Cleveland Browns have held onto one enduring hope: finding the quarterback who could finally lead the franchise into a new era. That hope began to feel real when Shedeur Sanders stepped onto the field. The rookie quarterback arrived with expectations that could overwhelm most players. As the son of legendary football icon Deion Sanders and a standout from the Colorado Buffaloes, Shedeur was no stranger to the spotlight. Cameras followed him, analysts debated his potential, and fans wondered whether he could truly become the leader Cleveland had been searching for. But football isn't won in headlines. It's won in moments. And one particular game early in the season would become known as Shedeur Sanders' massive win. The Browns were facing a tough opponent that night, and the pressure was obvious. Cleveland's offense had struggled in previous weeks, and critics questioned whether a young quarterback could handle the intensity of the NFL. The stadium buzzed with nervous energy as fans filled the stands, hoping, yet again, that this might be the turning point. From the opening snap, Sanders looked calm. His footwork was sharp. His eyes moved confidently across the defense. When the pocket collapsed around him, he stepped up rather than stepping back. Each throw carried precision, but more importantly, purpose. Midway through the second quarter came the moment that changed everything. Facing a critical third-and-long situation, Sanders scanned the defense and adjusted the play at the line. The defense blitzed hard, trying to overwhelm the rookie. For a split second, the stadium held its breath. Then Sanders delivered. The ball flew through the night air, perfectly timed and placed, landing in his receiver's hands for a long gain that electrified the crowd. The drive ended in a touchdown, and suddenly the Browns had momentum. But the game was far from over. In the second half, the opposing team surged back. The score tightened, and the pressure intensified. This was the kind of moment where young quarterbacks sometimes falter, where nerves creep in and mistakes change the outcome. Sanders didn't flinch. Instead, he embraced the moment. Late in the fourth quarter, with the Browns trailing by a small margin, Sanders took the field knowing the game rested on his shoulders. The stadium roared, thousands of fans rising to their feet. The drive began carefully. A short pass, a quick run, another completion. Slowly, steadily, the Browns moved down the field. With seconds remaining, Cleveland stood just outside the red zone. Sanders stepped into the huddle, looked at his teammates, and spoke with quiet confidence. This wasn't just another play. It was the chance to prove that Cleveland's faith in him had been justified. The snap came. The defense rushed aggressively, hoping to force a mistake. Sanders rolled slightly to his right, keeping his eyes downfield. A receiver broke open near the sideline. The pass was perfect. Catch. First down. The stadium erupted. Moments later, the Browns punched in the winning touchdown. The scoreboard confirmed what fans had been waiting to see all night. Cleveland had won. But the victory meant more than just another mark in the win column. For Shedeur Sanders, it was validation. In the post-game interviews, analysts described the performance as a massive win for the rookie quarterback, not only because of the result, but because of how he achieved it. He showed composure under pressure, leadership in critical moments, and the kind of resilience that defines successful NFL quarterbacks. Even his father, Deion Sanders, couldn't hide his pride.